What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in to this video that we made at La Cantera in San Antonio. I'll be touching on a few head game things that I dealt with today, and hope you guys enjoy.
Kind of knuckleballed that first one, not the best contact, but hey, no warm up, no big deal. We just start easy breezy and go with the stress-free shot. But look at this place, man. It's pretty awesome. It's beautiful. I've been wanting to play out here for years, so this is super exciting. And we're off to a okay start here on the right rough, so I'll take it.
So what I really wanted to talk about today was what kind of happened with this round and how I got started. I was really excited to play La Cantera. I've been wanting to play here for years, and unfortunately that morning we left late. We left from Austin a little bit late, so it resulted in getting to the course just in the nick of time to get onto the tee box. I had this whole idea of how I wanted to warm up and get on the other range and chip and putt and get familiar with the greens, and none of that happened. It was just kind of a go, 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 hurry, hurry, hurry. GPS took us to the wrong place. Tee time is coming up, trying to get there, trying to find parking. And I brought a lot of those nerves onto the round. So I just really wanted to touch on that today, because that ended up being kind of the feeling that I had throughout the whole round. I could just never get started because I feel like I just never gave myself that moment to start, and just really wanted to touch on what we bring to the course before we even get started. It can really shape the way we play. So if you're the type of person, I really like to warm up. I really like to get a feel for the greens. I like to get my chipping kind of warmed up before I get started. I totally understand, and I totally that's exactly how I like to get started. But it doesn't always happen that way. But I really wanted to put this video up and show, hey, what can happen when we approach the course that way, or when we bring some baggage from the outside on into our game. So just thought it was really interesting that because of that, I felt like today I couldn't really get started. I couldn't really get anything going, and it led to some disappointing play, but we had a fantastic time. Oh, so there it is. There's the frustration already coming out. We're a few holes in, and there it is. So I was already kind of a little bummed out because, like I said, I didn't get a chance to get a feel for the greens. So it was already presenting itself as we got started, But I just really want this to be a lesson to us all that that stress that we bring onto ourselves from the outside is going to manifest in our game. And I love that about this game, is that sometimes it lets us know if there's something going on, if there's something stirring inside of us. And I had some things I had been dealing with personally, and they were kind of bubbling to the surface, and I had to work on them and deal with them in a healthy way. But there's nothing like golf to let you know, hey, there it is, you've got something to work on.
We're definitely in a good position.
That's pretty.
Finally made it out to Cantera.
You know, and I will say, I did my best. You know, given the circumstance and how I was feeling, I did my best. And I think that's all you can do when you're out there, you know, is just continue to stay focused, focus on nature whenever you get your emotions start to flare up a bit. But I will say, you know, I was very proud of myself, and Lori kept me in that practice as well of just, you know, hey, you know, if today's not our day, things aren't going to be, you know, aren't going to be falling the way we want them. That's all right. You know, that's all right. And I think that despite it all, we still got through it. And I got to say, the course was in fantastic shape. Fantastic hill country golf. Absolutely loved it. Recommend it to anyone. Can't wait to play the Palmer course, and can't wait to even go back to, you know, just to go back to play the resort course as well. Here we got to look at the stones of the scores of past champions and stuff. It was just really cool to kind of drive past that there as we made our way to the next hole. But fantastic place. I didn't get a shot of the range for you guys, and I apologize for that, but the range was in phenomenal shape. The practice facilities were just fantastic. Can't say anything bad about them. They're just phenomenal facilities. So if you're ever in San Antonio or considering a trip to San Antonio area, when this whole COVID thing is over, you know, I highly recommend La Cantera. It was really, really fun to play, even if you're not playing your best that day. Yep, to get to the signature hole, or to get up to that great tee box and then hit a poofy. A little disappointing, but hey, what are you gonna do? So I was lucky. I barely stayed in. My emotions were definitely starting to flare up. I could feel all the boiling going on, you know, but we've done too much work. We've done too much practice, you know, to revert back to our old ways, and letting that rage take over, letting that anger take over, and kind of settle it, you know, feeling the disappointment, letting myself kind of feel it, you know, and have my little moment, but we move on. Those little, you know, emotional flare-ups, yeah, keeping them to a minimum, but I feel sometimes it's good just to let it out just a little bit, but so long as we don't go back to that dark place. You know, I've been discussing it in some of my last videos, and working on that mental part of the game is, like I've mentioned before, you know, a huge part of what I've been doing the last year and a half. when I say, I don't want to go back or revert to those old ways of doing things, it's, because of that journey that Lori and I have been on in the last year and a half. And if you haven't watched some of my other videos, I've been working on the mental aspect of the game and creating new behaviors and new ways of doing things, new ways of responding, new ways of how I respond to adversity when I'm on the golf course and thus in life, So if you're curious about some of those things, I've mentioned in some of the videos, some of my past videos, that I'm a practicing health coach and really enjoy what I do, really enjoy helping folks reduce their stress, and reducing stress on the golf course is a fantastic way to pull strokes off of your game, So even though I'm not having the best round today, all of those things that I've been working on over the last year and a half, going on 2 years, help on days like today. Today, when the situation isn't ideal, you're running late, the tee time is, getting closer, or I didn't get to warm up, or like the things that I mentioned earlier, or whatever's going on. It just really showed today that a lot of those things that I've been working on kept me cool, and even kept the number from blowing up even more. I really feel that some of those mental affirmations and things that we've been working on really prevented me from kind of going past a certain point as far as ballooning the score or not playing where we want to play. So I am really excited to see how these things and how these techniques and these behavioral changes, these thought changes, this creating of a mental game, how it actually performs on the day that we need it, when there is stress, when there is this, when there is that, when we really, really need it. Not on the day when it's going well, but on a day that we're being challenged. We're going to have some of those days, and we're going to have some of those holes where we hit poofies, we hit bad shots, and we got to use our head. We got to stay cool. We can't let our emotions get the best of us, because there's still a lot of golf to be played. There's recovery to be had. There's still par that we can make if we can, or save it for bogey, or accept our double, and we're going to finish off the hole conservatively and make sure that we get done what we need to get done. So again, just really happy to see that those things that we've been working on were there to protect me as my round went on. And I think that's the best way to really word it, is it feels like a shield. It feels like it was there to protect me, from getting too upset and creating more stress, and ultimately creating worse play. And the little club twirl. God, I love that 2-iron, you guys. I love my 2-iron. I can't say enough about it. I love my 2-iron. And I will say, guys, all of this mental work, all of this mental game work, it's really been so cool to watch it do what it does. On any other day before doing any of this, oh my gosh, I would have been just probably slicing and hooking everything just out of anger. But today, making my way into the back nine, and I apologize, we didn't get hole 10 recorded. But as I make my way into the backside, play begins to improve. Things start to get better as I start to relax a little bit and settle in. So it was really cool to see that, wow, I was able to recover and make the back nine redeem myself from what happened in the front side. So I want you guys to know that that's something that you guys can do too. If you've struggled with recovery and having a bad hole and not being able to come back from that, I want you guys to know that you can totally come back after a bad hole. You can play the worst hole ever and still come back and play some of the best golf you've ever played.
No worries.
Ah, my Lori's. I mean, how can you not keep calm with this spirit next to you throughout your entire round? She's just, I think it's just so, just so interesting how, you take an occupational therapist like Lori who didn't have any experience with the game, but yet was able to pull shots off of my game after a 20-year plateau. That's amazing. It just goes to show what all of this, what the things that she's taught me and the things that we've been working on really can do. She's just a fantastic occupational therapist, and I'm very, very, very grateful that she's enlightened me and showed me that world, and she's become my caddy. I can't play without her. She's just, every time we're there, we're playing, she's documenting and she's keeping track of everything for me. And that's just been such a huge part in how we were able to advance my golf game. And if you guys are curious about, our health coaching and what it is that we have to offer, feel free to reach out. We can pull strokes from your game too. If she did it for me, I'm confident that the things that we've been working on will work for you. There's just no doubt about it. It's just the way things work, So you do it, it's gonna be there. Just like, practice. You put in the time, you're gonna reap those rewards. There's nowhere to go if you're practicing these techniques. It's only gonna get better. So I think we had about 270 to the green or so, and I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna try to muscle a 2-iron and let's see if we get it close. And to my surprise, we were right there. I was kind of went off to the edge there to see, to track where it was headed, but we landed just short, but it was a great shot. I was really happy with it. I don't know if I've mentioned, but what I was typically about I would say about a 15 to a 20 handicap. When I started about a year and a half, I started playing when I was about 9 years old. I'm not sure if I mentioned before, but just a little history or a little background as to how long I've been playing. But yeah, I started around 9, departed from the game after high school, and just kind of lost interest and felt like I had plateaued. And in about, I think 2018, I started playing again, and I just completely became obsessed again. And when I first started playing again, I was shooting close to 100, 90s, and I was happy when I had a day in the 80s. And it wasn't long before, I would say about 10 months in, right about the year mark, scores started to fall consistently into the 70s, and 90 started to feel like the new 100, and started to feel like, wow, we're dropping some scores here pretty quick. And it wasn't long, like I said, it wasn't long before, the norm was just being in the 70s. So on a day like today, when I shot in the 80s, I'm very grateful, don't get me wrong, but we kind of worked our way down into the 70s, and that's just where, I kind of wanted to sit today. But just to give you a little bit of background as to how many strokes I pulled off doing these things with Lori over the course of the last year and a half, like I keep mentioning. But it's just true. I can't get over what this has done. So just to give you guys a little bit of an idea. So some of you might say, oh, well, you shot in the 80s, and that's, like I said, I'm grateful for that. But I'm really excited. The other day, I want to say a couple weeks ago, and I'll touch on it in the Wolf Dancer video that's coming up, but I ended up breaking my all-time low record of 76 and shooting 74. So I'll be talking about that a little bit more in the next video, but I'm really excited to mention it. So look out for Wolf Dancer in Bastrop. That's the next video we're going to be shooting. So on this last hole, guys, I'm going to drop the music a little bit so you can enjoy the sounds of the hill country. There was a little bit of a hill country storm coming through as we were wrapping up our round, but it was just so dreamy. Hope you guys enjoy it. Well, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you. Please feel free to like and subscribe. Thank you so much, every single one of you, for stopping by to watch the vid. I'll be leaving a link at the bottom so that you can reach out to us on Instagram if you happen to be curious about the work we're doing off the course. But thank you, guys. Y'all have a great night.